Insurance fraud soared last year. As the recession hits home, it seems more and more people aren't being entirely honest when they make a claim. According to the Association of British Insurers, the number of fraudulent claims reached record levels. During 2008, more than 100,000 false claims were uncovered. That's a 17% rise on 2007. It's estimated these fraudulent claims add an extra £40 a year to the average premium. And it seems the threat of a criminal record doesn't put everyone off. 1 in 5 admitted they would be tempted to lie or exaggerate on their insurance. Well, Richard Scott is here with more details. And Richard, just give us some examples of what people are doing and saying.
Yes, we're not talking about criminal masterminds in many of these cases. There's the classic example of a man who said his car had been stolen when he'd actually sold it to his friend. There was a lady who lost her engagement ring but wasn't covered for items away from the home. So she extended her policy, so she was covered for items away from the home, and then put in exactly the same claim a few days later. There was a man who claimed nearly £10,000 for breaking his ankle tripping over a pothole. He'd actually been playing football. He was jailed for 9 months. And then there was another man who got nearly £400,000 after a car accident in compensation. He then decided to leave his wife, who then, after that happened, decided to report him for exaggerating his injuries as part of the accident. Now, all of these, of course, are part of the fraud statistics, and that rise in fraud is partly down to more fraud happening, but also down to the fact that companies are getting much better at detecting it.
When we look at unusual circumstances, the number of claims the customers had in a short period of time, and any pattern that the claims history might show us.
And as a whole, Richard, what's the insurance industry saying about this?
Well, it's saying that the recession is partly responsible. People are looking for other sources of income, but also that if people are tempted to commit fraud, bear in mind that if you get caught, you're going to face more expensive and harder to get insurance and credit in the future, and you're likely to get a criminal record.
Richard Scott, thank you. The polls have opened in India's general election with more than 7